require K-12 sex education classes in public schools has cleared its next hurdle in the Washington state legislature. After a lengthy discussion, senators passed Senate Bill 5395. It would require schools to offer evidence-based, inclusive, skills-based instruction across all levels.
It's turned out to be very divisive as well, with one local Spokane Valley state senator saying he wishes he could save up his no votes from other legislation so that he could have used them on this one. The bill passed 28-21. Our Hawk Hammer dug through the bill, and Hawk, this wouldn't be the same stuff at all ages.
It would not be. Aaron, the sponsor of the bill, wants it to be clear the standards, which would be set by the state's Office of Public Instruction and then adapted by the district either as is, or they could also make their own as long as it meets the requirements, would be age appropriate. Bill sponsors say for kindergartners, education could include things like what's a good touch or a bad touch and overall respect, as is already taught in many places.
What works in Seattle, it is not going to work in Deer Park.
For Leanna Ben, director of Teen Aid, which provides sex risk avoidance education in Spokane, this bill puts everyone, students and their parents, in the same box.
We need diversity in there, and we need choice, and we need local control.
What Senate Bill 5395 does, it requires public schools statewide to offer age-appropriate sex education at the K-12 levels. For older kids, that would involve teaching abstinence and also other methods of contraception, in addition to the need-to-knows on sexually transmitted diseases. In the era of Me Too, it would also teach that relationships need to be free from violence and coercion by teaching students how to understand consent in sexual activity. Everything taught would have to be medically and scientifically accurate and inclusive of all protected classes. A big win if you ask Planned Parenthood.
We're very supportive of inclusive curriculum for LGBTQ students. Lessons that add consent, discuss healthy relationships.
He says they sometimes have to pick up the pieces.
You know, we hear a lot from students that talk about exclusive curriculum where they don't see themselves in it.
For Ben, she wants that balanced with age.
When you start looking at talking about those gender issues before the child even reaches puberty, that is going to be a stumbling block in many communities.
But not Spokane. Speaking with Spokane Public Schools spokesman, he says based on the current bill, the curriculum they have in place wouldn't need to change. That may not be the case for other districts, though. And important to mention here, parents would still have the ability to opt their children out. They would also be able to go over what would be taught beforehand. This bill was itself requested by the superintendent of public instruction, who says more uniform sex education might help combat the nearly third of high school girls and 6 of high school boys that are sexually assaulted. It will now move on to the House. I'm Hawk Hammer, KXLY4 News.